Mobile, Alabama man is wanted after holding a woman against her will and abusing her. The incident occurred earlier this month when 27-year-old Javaris Johnson kidnapped the victim, then over the next 4 days, he strangled her and beat her with anything he could find in the house where she was being held. The woman suffered life-threatening injuries but is recovering. Javaris has since vanished. He's about 5 feet 7 inches tall and weighs approximately 160 pounds. The authorities said he may or may not be wearing dreads as you see in his mugshot. Johnson is charged with kidnapping and abuse charges. He also has a history of drug crimes and is wanted for violating probation on separate offences. A man is wanted by the authorities after he attacked an elderly man with a hammer in Dorchester. The incident occurred about 1:50 p.m. on Sunday the 20th of June, outside an old man's home in the area of Columbia Road and Washington Street in Boston, Massachusetts. After the unprovoked brutal attack, a neighbour found the wounded man bleeding outside their apartment complex. The authorities were contacted and officers responded to the scene, where they found the elderly man with his leg covered in blood. The victim stated that he'd been approached by an unidentified male suspect who emerged from a stopped motor vehicle and struck him on his shin with a hammer just outside his home before fleeing the area. The victim was transported to a local hospital for treatment. The attacker is unknown to the victim. CCTV cameras captured images of the suspect, who's wanted for aggravated assault and battery, and is described as a black non-Hispanic male between 40 and 50 years of age, standing at around 6 feet tall and weighing about 200 pounds. A Phoenix woman is facing murder charges in the beating death of a 4-year-old son. The incident occurred on the 31st of May, when the child's stepdad contacted 911 and reported an unresponsive child at an apartment located at 3816 North 83rd Avenue in Arizona. Paramedics rushed the boy to a hospital where he died. On the 1st of June, an autopsy was performed, which confirmed the boy had severe internal injuries to his organs and several broken ribs. The report stated that the injuries were so bad that the boy would not have survived more than 24 hours. The investigators then interviewed the boy's mother, 32-year-old Michelle Shirley, and the stepdad, who both stated that only Shirley disciplined the boy and that the only people who cared for him were them. The 4-year-old boy had been in the care of his grandmother, Michelle's mother, in California until she became ill in late 2020. Shirley took custody of her son in January this year. During the police interview, Michelle explained that her son was potty trained, but in the last few weeks of his life, he began to have accidents. According to a police report, the stepdad admitted that Michelle had whipped the boy the day before he died. He said she used a sandal to discipline him. He said he didn't see the whooping, but heard it, and it lasted for 3 to 4 minutes. He also said it didn't sound the same as when she spanked him before with a sandal, and this time it sounded more like a pow. After the incident, the stepdad said the boy went to him and said, "Mummy whooped me." The stepdad said he fed the boy some tacos and noticed he was falling asleep, so he put him to bed. When Michelle was initially questioned, she told the detective she hadn't disciplined her son in about a month, and she would usually spank him on his behind. She then consented to a polygraph test, which she failed. She then conceded that she had whipped her son with a sandal the day before he died, and a second time just before he fell asleep while eating tacos. She also said she smoked blunts 1 or 2 hours apart on the day before he died. Shirley stated that she would ask the boy why he was having accidents, and he responded because he missed his grandmother, and I don't know why. She told her husband that she couldn't deal with this right now, with her own mother's failing health. At the end of the interview, Michelle started crying. When she was put into the same room as her husband, she hugged him and said, "I did it. I did it." According to a police report, she stated, "I have to live with this. I killed my baby." Michelle's been charged with abuse and murder of her son.